guys, it's Alexandra Christian again, and you're joining me in bed, as usual, because, well, my bedroom is the only place where you can't hear the clicking of the dog's feet. Um, anyway, we have been talking a lot lately in different writing groups and stuff, and just different marketing groups about how talking about, we don't like to talk about ourselves. We don't like to, share a whole lot about our books. We feel like we're bragging or whatever. So I have this idea of maybe telling you about my books kind of while I'm getting ready. So this is going to be kind of a get ready with me video where I do my makeup and I talk about my upcoming release with Mocha Memoirs Press called Falling into Rhythm. It is a small town contemporary romance, which is completely uncharted for me. It's just really fluffy. If you like Hallmark Channel movie romances, I think you'll love it. If you are a teacher who's having a really hard time right now, I also think you will love it because the heroine of the story is a kindergarten teacher. And if you like dirty rock stars, the hero is a retired dirty rock star. So I think you're really going to like the book. But anyway, let's just do a little bit of makeup and we'll talk about the book and talk about makeup, and I think you guys will really like it. So let's get started. All right, I've already finished my morning routine, which is to clean my face with, I have been using, this one is called the Essen Herb. It's Tea Tree Foam Cleanser. I got it in my Ipsy bag, but you can buy it on Amazon. I think it's about $12 maybe. But it's really, really good. It has a really, really nice clean scent. It very much smells like tea tree oil, so if you don't like that scent, you might not like this. But it's a Korean skincare product, and if you have never tried Korean skincare products, I highly recommend it. They're just phenomenal. I don't know what kind of amazing research they're doing in Korea that makes the skincare products so good, but whatever it is, good on you. So I've already cleansed my face with this, and then my daytime cleanser is nothing special. I just kind of got it. It's the Target brand. It's a dupe for Neutrogena oil-free sensitive skin lotion. It's a good one to use during the day, especially if you don't need a whole lot of hydration. My skin right now is not very dry, which is amazing because I live in South Carolina and it is extremely hot here right now. But my skin has been cooperating, so it's not too dry. But it's just a really good daytime sensitive skin moisturizer if you don't need a whole lot of moisture, but you still want to protect your face. It does not have an SPF in it though, so if sun protection is really important to you, like it probably should be really important to you, it should be more important to me as well, then you're going to want to use an extra SPF to go with it, because layering skin products is kind of a thing. Alrighty, so now that my face is all prepped and everything, I'm gonna start with my primer. I was slow to the primer bandwagon, but I really, really like it now, and I don't go out without it. This was a splurge, but I feel like it was a good splurge. It's made by Benefit. It's called the Professional, and I'm using the Pearl Primer. I don't know if you can see it. They make a couple of different ones. This one, it gives you kind of a dewy glow. So that's kind of why I like it. It's pretty. It has color to it. It's not white like a lot of primers are. If you can see it right there, it's got kind of a pinky color to it. And I'm just going to kind of rub it in my hands and get it warm. It just tends to go into my skin better that way. Remember, everybody's skin is different, so my techniques might not work for you. And I just kind of pat it all over my face. But yeah, everybody's skin is different, so my technique might work for you, might not work for you. My products might work for you, they might not work for you. You might look at my products and go, what the hell is she doing a makeup tutorial for? Because her products don't work for her either, but I like them. But anyway, it just makes your pores look really nice. It has kind of a blurring effect to it. I actually have used this stuff on my face, and then that and a little lip gloss, and gone to the store, you know. It just kind of gives your face sort of a more of a finished look to it. So you can use it by itself or under your makeup like I'm going to. Alright, so you want to kind of let your primer just kind of sit on your face for like at least 30 seconds, just to kind of let it go into your skin and kind of do what it's going to do. If you put your foundation on over top of it, it just kind of like blends with your foundation. It doesn't really, you don't really get the full benefit of it. So you want to kind of let it sit there for a minute. Now for the, actually no, yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Sorry, I should have planned. I never planned very well. For my foundation, I use a product called Clinique Even Better Glow. Comes in this little bottle. And I used to be one of those people that I was like, it just hurts my heart to spend that much on foundation. Guys, there are some products that you can scrimp on and some products that you can't. If you are over 40 like I am, foundation is not one of those things. Go ahead, spend the $35, $40 on the good foundation, and it's going to make the rest of your makeup shine. I mean, it's just going to be great. So I got turned on to Clinique by a coworker, and it works really well. This works really well for me. It is not a matte finish. It is a dewy finish. So, you know, some people don't like that. A lot of people complain that that anything that's not matte kind of sinks into their fine lines and everything, and it just accentuates everything. I have not found this to be true on the Even Better Glow. But everybody's skin is different. And so I'm just going to start by putting just a little bit. I give it a couple of shakes, and I squeeze out just a little teeny tiny pearl on the back of my hand. I can do my whole entire face with that. So you do not need a whole lot, which does make me feel better about it being so expensive. So, and then you just kind of pat it on, just kind of dot it onto your face. Just kind of distributing it a little bit. And I've got some left, and I can use that to kind of buff out any problem areas after I get it all in. I'm just going to use it's not a beauty blender. It's called Real Techniques. You can get it for about $6 at Ulta. I think they also have them at Walmart. It's really spongy. It's really soft and has a lot of different surfaces, so you can get to all the little nooks and crannies on your face. When I'm doing foundation, I just use a really light touch and I buff. I don't rub it onto my face, because then you're really just rubbing your foundation around. And in some areas, like where you want more coverage, just pat. Some people like to use a brush. I am not a big fan of the brush. I just don't think it puts it into my skin the way I want. And different foundations have different things, you know? I mean, sometimes if your foundation is real moussey, maybe your brush is going to work better, you know? It's just kind of, you just have to kind of play with it, you know? I watched this one makeup lady, Bailey Sarian, and her videos are great. She talks about murders and makeup. But anyway, she always says, you know, it's just makeup, you know? If you don't like it, you can take it off and start over again. So, and that's true. I highly recommend, you know, just kind of getting your makeup and playing with it and just kind of, you know, seeing what works best for you. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of go in with a little bit. I have some discoloration, like right here, on the tops of my cheeks. Discoloration. That's just a nice way of saying sun damage. Got a little sun damage on the tops of my cheeks. And so I try to get a little bit more coverage there, just because it kind of cancels it out. All right. While I am preparing my concealer, I guess I can tell you a little bit about my book. It's called Falling Into Rhythm. It's going to be coming out on September 15th. It is a small town romance. because I've just really gotten into those lately. I live in a small town, and you always have, quirky little people with quirky little, idiosyncrasies, and it's just fun. It's a fun setting for a romance novel. But anyway, Falling into Rhythm, it's a story about a guy, Jude Renfro, who used to be a famous rock star, and his wife dies kind of suddenly and leaves him with with their child. I don't know what that is in my hair. Leaves him with their child, and so he decides to quit the music industry and move to a nice small town where he and his son can have a nice, quiet, normal life. Well, his son is 5 years old and starting kindergarten, and so he goes in to meet the teacher and meets the heroine of the story. Her name is Harper Winslow, and she is a kindergarten teacher, and she is, of course, sassy and quirky, and he falls in love with her immediately. He just thinks that she's fabulous, as does his son. And she is very apprehensive at first because, of course, her being his child's teacher kind of complicates matters a little bit. And but they can't avoid their attraction because they end up getting put on the same committee to put on a fall carnival fundraiser for the school that's in financial trouble. And so the two of them are planning the carnival, and there's all kinds of twists and turns, and they end up falling in love. And it's just a really feel-good, fluffy romance that I think we all kind of need right now. The story takes place in my fictional town of Crawford's Landing, which, funnily enough, I have used in some of my horror fiction as well. Takes place in Crawford's Landing. And I just thought that was hilarious. So, but anyhow, I think there's going to be more books in Crawford that take place in Crawford's Landing. You'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, that's my book. It's up for pre-order right now, so you need to run over to Amazon and get it. Finish watching this video first, and then run over and get it. But I'll link it down at the bottom. So anyway, I've got my foundation. It's set into my face. So now I'm going to go in with my concealer. Now, a lot of people that do makeup on the internet tell you that you need to gob on your concealer under your eyes. If you are over 40, or if you have really textured skin, all that's going to do for you is really make it cakey underneath your eyes. So you don't want to do that. I use this, I think is it Maybelline? Yeah, it's Maybelline. It's called Instant Age Rewind, and it was initially marketed to older women to kind of erase their fine lines and wrinkles and all that stuff. But other people have found that it works really well. It's actually, I've heard it called a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, because it has the same kind of texture. They have done it in this cool little wand, this eraser wand, and it's got like this fuzzy tip on it so that you don't get too much. And you just give it a couple of twists, and I just kind of put it under my eyes right here, but I don't paint it on down my face. And then I'm gonna put it kind of right there where I have, the beginnings of crow's feet, as the great Dolly Parton once said, time marches on, eventually you realize it's marching across your face. Yeah, that kind of thing. And then I also use it to kind of highlight the middle of my face, just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to bounce it. You just bounce it. To blend it, you just bounce it. Don't wipe. It's just, you're not doing yourself any good if you're wiping. You just want to blend it. I always think of my sister who told me this story once about this lady that she worked with who had one of those little exercise ball things. You remember those? And she was telling my sister about it. My sister was like, well, how do you use it? I mean, what do you do? I don't understand how you're exercising with it. She said, oh, you just bounce on it. And I think about that every time I do my concealer. You just bounce on it. And it will. And it feels like it's taking forever. You just kind of have to take your time. I always, I poo-pooed people who used to get up like an hour early to just do their makeup. I'm like, I don't have time for that. Take the time for it. You'll be glad you did. I also thought this was a really cool idea to do like a get ready with me thing, because you don't see a lot of fat chicks doing their makeup on the internet. I mean, everybody's always like this fabulous like model type. And I'm like, I'm over 40 and I'm a fat chick. I think the internet needs me. Okay. Plus, I have terrible eyebrows. You guys do not look at my eyebrows. I plucked them and they're just not cooperating. So, just pretend you don't see this. Okay, so I have my concealer, my foundation. I am going to set my face because I do not like stickiness. If I touch my face and it's sticky, I do not like that. So I am using the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. Guys, this stuff has been around since like the 40s, and I understand why. It works really, really well. Now, I will tell you that the first ingredient is talc, so you're not going to want to use this like, don't pour it down your throat or use it to excess to where, you're inhaling it, because we know talc is not good for you. So, but it works really well, and it's a really fine powder. It gives you a really smooth look. And I just use the little thing that they, give you with it. And I concentrate it up under my eyes and on my T-zone, because that's where I always get, shiny. But then I just kind of pat just a little bit all over my face to just kind of make that stickiness go away. You don't want to use too much, because then you're kind of defeating the purpose of using a glowy foundation. But I love it. It's very light and it's very airy. And like I said, just don't gob it on, and you don't want to do that with any powder. You don't want to gob any powder on, because then it's not gonna look good. All right. Now the next thing that I'm using is, it's made by e.l.f. If you're looking for really good cosmetics that are budget friendly, e.l.f. is a good brand. Most of their products are just really good. I don't like their eyeshadows, but I think that's me. I don't think that's them. But anyway, so I'm using their bronzer, and it's called Forever Sunkissed. And I don't really do a lot of contouring because I always screw it up. But I do like to, put a little bit of bronzer on my face. It just kind of makes everything, just kind of gives me a little bit of color, and kind of like cancels out those little things that I don't like. Because the point of it is to kind of, make it appear that there's a shadow there instead of a great big double chin or whatever you're trying to cover up. Don't put it everywhere, And I kind of use this little bit of a circular motion to kind of blend it. And it just kind of gives your cheeks kind of a hollowy look. It's not a true contour, because a true contour is going to be more of a cool tone. This is more of a warm tone. It's supposed to give you more of a sun-kissed look. I also put it under here, under my jawline, under my double chin. Like I said, it kind of just makes you look like there's a shadow there, not a great big fat double chin. No, there's anything wrong with that. All bodies are beautiful. Now, if you feel that you have overdone it, like, every now and then we kind of put products on and we go like, oh, I just kind of overdid it there. You can always take that Coty powder and use that and kind of smooth it out a little bit, blend it out a little bit. It looks okay. It's a little warmer on this cheek than I wanted, but not too bad. Okay. I also want to use a smaller brush. You guys, I'm terrible with brushes. I know that I am not using the right brush for the product. They're probably, if a makeup artist ever sees this video, they're just going to be like, it's going to give them nightmares. Because I'm sure I'm not doing any of this correctly, the correct technique. I'm just using what works for me, because it's a get ready with me video, not really a tutorial, so I'm telling you what to do. This next product I'm using is made by Milani. It's called Romantic Rose, for obvious reasons, because there's a rose in there. It's just a really light. I don't like the way it smells. It kind of has like a chemically smell, but it's a really nice color. It gives your cheeks a really nice pinky glow. And you guys, I am not sure if you're supposed to use the camera as your mirror, but I am. Okay. And I'm going to use kind of a flat brush, which I think this is probably like a foundation brush. It's just flat. I'm going to use that to apply a little bit of highlighter. And you want to do highlighter just kind of on the tops of your cheekbones. Kind of see where the light catches your face, you know? And I have like a really dramatic highlighter palette by Fenty Beauty, Rihanna's brand, and I love it, but it is definitely a nighttime palette because it's got like all kinds of crazy, the highlighter has kinds of crazy colors, and so you put it on and you kind of look like an alien, but it makes you look plastic. I mean, it's very bright. Okay, so I committed the ultimate cardinal sin. I did my face makeup before I did my eyes. That's just the way that it's a habit. I need to break it, but I've been doing my makeup since I was 13 years old, and so it's very difficult for me to break that habit. But it is a lot easier to do your eye makeup first. Because once you put that face makeup on, if you mess up your eye makeup somehow, like if you get a little bit of eyeliner in the wrong place, or you mess up your mascara or something, it's very difficult to get it off without ruining the rest of your makeup. So it's a good practice to do your eye makeup first, but I didn't do that. Alright, so I think I'm just going to kind of go for just like a pretty, normal sort of look today. So I am going to use the Tartelette in Bloom by Tarte palette, and it's such a good palette, you guys. It was kind of expensive. I bought it at kind of the height of my Corona buying. Yeah, it's a real thing. Corona spending is a real thing. Retail therapy. But anyway, so it was kind of expensive, but it's totally worth it. I use it every single day. It has this nice big mirror, and it's got like these really amazing colors to it. And they're really good everyday colors. It's got a lot of mattes. It's got some really pretty shimmer colors, shimmer shades. I would say I like it better than the Urban Decay Naked palettes. Plus, it smells like chocolate. It's a really nice palette. So yeah. So the first thing I do when I'm doing my makeup, my eye makeup, is I choose like a really nice transition shade. And so I get kind of a nice big fluffy brush. Your transition shade is basically, it's kind of like the undershade. And I'm going to be using this mirror, so if I'm not looking at the camera, just, you know. So I'm going to use this shade, which is called Flower Child, to be my transition shade. That's probably a little bit lighter, but I'm not going for anything too crazy today, so. But your transition shade, you can go all over your lid. It just kind of helps when you get ready to blend to have that transition shade. Because you don't want, I mean, you want to give your eyelids kind of a neutral color. Oh, and I forgot, I usually use an eyeshadow primer before I get ready to do my eyes, but I forgot, so anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what I did. Alright, so I want to take like a brush that has kind of an angle. I don't know if you can see this. It has like this nice little angle. For some reason, that really helps you get into the crease of your eye. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this shade Sweetheart. I'm going to use Sweetheart to kind of go in and work that into my crease. Like I said, this is a daytime look I'm doing, so it's not going to be too terribly dramatic. But you just kind of work that into your crease, or and that little angle just kind of lets you get right in there and just like press it into your socket to kind of deepen it. This kind of gives you a little bit of definition there. I think I may want a little bit more. I think I kind of want to deepen that crease a little bit, so I'm gonna use this one. It's called Rebel. It's kind of a pinky brownie color, and I'm just gonna pat that into the outer corner and then pull it across this way. And it's just going to kind of deepen that crease and give it a little bit more color. See, isn't that pretty? Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. So now I'm just going to kind of blend all those colors together so it doesn't look so, you don't want to have like harsh lines or anything. Well, I mean, you can. It's just going to give you a more dramatic look. And you see how I'm kind of holding my brush kind of like away from the bristles? That's going to give less pressure, so you're not going to deposit as much color. If you go like up here, then that's automatically going to make you press on your eye a little more, and it's going to deposit more color. So just, you know, something to think about. I'm also going to use this blender to put like a super light shade. This super light shade, it's called Charmer, and I'm just going to put that right on my brow line, my brow bone, and that just kind of gives you a little pop there. And softens everything a little bit. And like I said, this is a daytime look. I'm not going for anything like super bold. So I'm just going to kind of leave it like that. You know, if you want to give it a little more, you can use like, I've got like a liquid glitter, liquid eyeshadow. It's made by Koki. It's called Crystal Fusion, and this one's kind of a rose gold color. And if you want to add just like a little more drama, you can just kind of like, I'm just going to add that. You know, just kind of like right there in that inner corner. Kind of gives you a little bit of a, oh. And I totally screwed that up. But it just gives you kind of a, you know, if you want like a little pop of of glitter or something. Let's find something to kind of blend that out a little bit, because I went a little crazy. I didn't mean to get that much on there. My technique on my inner corner kind of sucks sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. But yeah, it just kind of gives you just like that little pop of glitter there, and it makes you look very awake, you know? So yeah. I'm thinking I may want to like work this Rebel down a little bit into my lower lash line. Just kind of continue that, and I'm using like a stiff angle brush for that. Just kind of smokes it out a little bit, you know, kind of gives you a little more cohesion. Okay. Now, once your once you have your eye makeup the way you want it, you can use your eyeliner. And I had always been taught when I was a kid that you put your liner on before everything. Well, if you do that, you're just going to cover up your liner. So, I'm going to use this Fierce Flicks by Ciati of London, and I am not going to wing it out or anything. I'm just basically gonna kind of go along my lash line. With it, just to kind of smooth it out, just kind of, you know, give your eye a little pop. I will have to practice a lot more before I'm willing to do a wing on camera. Because sometimes I get it right and sometimes I get it hugely wrong. And you can see right here, I like totally screwed up because I got that on there. But I'm going to put mascara on, so hopefully that will help. Trying to wipe that away when it's wet, you're going to make a mess. Don't do that. You're going to end up with raccoon eyes. So don't do it like that. Alright, and just a little bit of mascara. I'm going to use Buxom. It's made by Buxom. I got this in my Ipsy bag. You guys, if you are a person who wants to learn to use makeup better, or if you've never been a makeup person and you want to get into it, I cannot recommend Ipsy enough, because you can get a lot of really high-end products and you can try them before you go and buy like a full one. That's how I found the Benefit Professional stuff. I got a sample in my Ipsy bag, and so I got a chance to try it before I went and spent like $40-something on it. So I can't say enough nice things about Ipsy. This was one of the things that I got this month, and it's not a full size, I don't think, but it is. I mean, it's got a good amount of product in it, and it's like a $12 a month subscription thing. It's really nice, and it has a really nice spoolie. I love the spoolie, because it really separates your eyelashes. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to use my camera as my mirror, but here we are. And there are my eyes, such as they are. Like I said, I kind of screwed up right here. I had a little transfer from my eyeliner into this inner corner right here. So probably I will need to go and fix that later. Like I said, I don't want to rub it around too much, because I don't want to have raccoon eyes. Okay. And you want to let that dry for a second before you know, do too much because you don't want to end up with it on the tops of your eyelids because you just did that wonderful makeup job up there. Okay, so last but not least is lipstick. And since I'm doing like a kind of an everyday thing, I think I'm going to use, this is made by Wet n Wild, and you guys, I was so surprised when I found this because when I was a kid, Wet n Wild, that was like everybody's first, like, made them feel grown up teenagery makeup. And I just remember the quality of the lipsticks. They were so like heavy and greasy, but they came in these really amazing colors. So it was seen for a long time as like little girl makeup, but they have really like stepped up their game. A lot of their products are really good. Their lipsticks are really good. They have a primer, and I can't remember what it's called. It's really, really good. And I mean, $4, $4 or $5. It's really not that bad. I think these lipsticks, this is the Liquid Catsuit Mega Last. It is a matte lipstick, and it does last for a really long time. It's got a really good texture, and it was like $5. So, you know, live and learn. I do not overline just because I feel like I look like a bad Mick Jagger impersonator when I do that. This color is called Rebel Rose. Isn't that right? Yeah, Rebel Rose. It's kind of a brown, pinky, rosy kind of shade. Looks really good for an everyday. If you want to, have a nice color on your lips, but you don't want to go for like something bold. It's a really good product. All right, you guys, so there we have it. There is my full face. The only thing I'm missing now is somebody to stand behind me and hold my face up like this. See, that one little thing, and my face looks so much better. You young ladies, just so you know, when you get older, everything falls. Your boobs fall, your butt falls, and your face falls. So, yeah, just that one little thing. It's that one little thing. It looks so much better. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Make sure that you go down below and go and get my pre-order for Falling into Rhythm. I think you're really going to like that book. And if I get really, really industrious, I may link all the products that I used below. But, this is just kind of my casual look. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.